Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to GoSmack webinar series this morning. I'm Tasha here. Our topic for today is indeed an interesting topic, especially during this recovery movement control order. I would like to first and foremost congratulate every one of you who have taken the wonderful initiative to learn the new skill, not only for yourself, but also for the good of your organization and also for your clients. Before we kick off with our first presenter today, a few quick reminders so that we could learn and enjoy today's webinar without much interruptions. Please remember to mute your mic so that your secrets are not being heard by all of us. Please do keep calm and stay connected in the event that we have an internet interruptions. Please show your love and encouragement to our two young presenters who have worked very hard to prepare this webinar especially for you. Kindly check on your microphones and speaker setting in case if you can't hear our presenter's voice. You can check on the More Option button with three horizontal dots which located in between the chat button and cross button in red. Or else, if you can't solve the problem, you can right away drop message in our chat box and our technical team will guide you. We would like to invite all the participants to join on our GBN WhatsApp group. As you can see, we have provided the QR code to join on our WhatsApp GBN group. The main objective of our GBN groups are to learn, interact, and participate in webinars and activities conducted by peers, industry, and top leaders. Get access to webinar links, mentoring, and resources, and also to receive some support. And the third one, get the material of a presentation. We'll post all our recording in our GBN WhatsApp group. And also the last, to get the information for a future webinar. So kindly join on our GBN WhatsApp group for more updates. Last but not least, for those who want to become our GoSmack marketing partners, or you want to have a discovery call with us to get more ideas, you can sign up the registration form using the link that our team posts in our chat box. Our dear team, could you please share the market partners link and also for the discovery call link? And as you can see, there are two links. One is for the discovery call and another one is for the partnership. You can fill up the details and submit to us and we will get back to you as soon as possible. With that, let me introduce our first presenter, our young and restless and always talented Mr. Danny. Over to you, Danny.
Good afternoon to everyone. Good morning. I'm Danny here. Today I would like to share how to boost sales and productivity with field force management. As for today's topic, we have 4 key takeaways that you want to pay attention to. The first is, what is field force management? The second is, why business should leverage on field force management? And third is, how digitalized field force management can help your company. So the first three key takeaways will be presented in the theory form. The last key takeaways, how to start your field force management today, will be presented in our live demo later by using our platform and technology. So let's enter the presentation with the first key takeaway. What is field force management? So other than field force CRM that we are providing via our services, we also have Reduce CRM, Reward CRM, Refer CRM, Online and Offline CRM, Contact CRM, Receive CRM, Survey CRM, Marketplace CRM, and of course, the topic of today, which is Field Force CRM. To understand what is field force management, we must understand what field service and field sales is. Because field service is one of the most important aspects of field force management. If there is no field service, there is no field force management. So what field service is? Field service is the process of managing your assets and resource that are deployed at customer, public, and third-party location. When we talk about managing, it's like servicing your resource and assets. For example, air conditioner service. When the technician provides a service to your air condition, so it's like managing your assets and resource because the aircon is belong to you. So they help when they service your aircon, it's like they managing your assets. So they are deployed at customer location because when they want to service your aircon, they must come over to your place. So it means that they need to come over your place and help service you. So that is called managing your assets that are deployed as customer location because they come to the customer location and service your air conditioner. So this is what we call field service. How about public locations? For example, when we driving outside, we and notice there's a pothole on the road or traffic light are malfunctioning. We can also contract the relevant departments to fix these public properties because it belongs to the public. And where there's a problem, we can always be responsible and contract them. When they are repairing the traffic light, it is also a call field service at a public location. How about the third-party location? It's a location that does not belong to customer or the public. For example, warehouse. A company rents a warehouse for storing their products. So technically, they don't own the warehouse, so this is considered a third-party location. When we talk about this may also include managing assets in transport and providing service at customer location. For example, the delivery service is also called managing assets in transport. So let me list out some of the examples of field service. This included telecom service. For example, Telecom Malaysia. When your modem or internet connection has a problem, they will send a technician to your house just to repair and fix your internet connection. It can be unified or time. Other than that, this also includes utilities. For example, as I mentioned just now, we can have aircon, electricity, water and natural gas service. For the gas service, right, when they come to your house and replace the gas tank for you, so if they manage your access in the customer location. We can also have the healthcare field service because some of the patient, right, maybe they are inconvenient to walk around, so it will be better for the nurse or the doctor to visit them, provide treatment at the patient's location. Or as an example that I stated just now, which is an incident. For example, a pothole or the traffic light is malfunctioning. You can ask the relevant departments to repair it. So these are the examples of field service. So what is field sales? Field sales, you can call it as outside sale. So it's a process by which company visit list and sell to them in person. A field sales representative typically work for B2B and wholesale organization. So their sales process will rely on relationship building and long-term contracts. For example, insurance, which is you need to build a relationship with your customer so that your customer will trust you and then sign a contract with you. Other than that, we can also have door-to-door selling and loan provider. So these are the example of field sales. Before we go into digitalized field force management, let's talk about how the normal field force management work. So if you are an individual staff member of your job, you're probably not going to have field force management because the only staff you want to manage is yourself. But what if you are working under a company? So this is when we need the field force management. So I will use a field service example to present the normal workflow for a field force management. First of all, when a customer faces a problem, the customer will request for service and tells the relevant department what the problem is. So let me bring this example up again. The customer aircon is malfunctioning. So when he gave a phone call to the aircon company, the relevant department will have an admin to monitor all of this. After they receive a request through phone call, and then the admin will assign the task for their staff. So the staff will also receive the assigned task and start completing the task. So the staff is like the technician, he in charge for, he responsible for the technical part, which is provide service to the aircon directly. So when we go through this process, we actually wasted a lot of time. For example, when the first step, the customer contract to the admin is using the phone call. And then the admin has to assign the task to the technician, properly using phone call. Other than that, he also need to record down the task information personally. So the workflow is not digitalized. The workflow involves a lot of manual work. For example, a lot of phone call is happening and the admin has to record the task information by himself, whether it's he by using handwriting or he type the data into the database manually. So it might occur error when there are a lot of requests coming in. Other than that, they still have to contract their staff via phone call, so it's very time consuming. For the technician, you also need to call back to the admin and tell him the job is already done. So another phone call again. So all of these work steps can be prevented and digitalized. So what is digitalized field force management? So as the name say, manage your field service in digital ways. Field force management tools able to help you stay in control all the time. So the field force management can automate what can be automated and leave only the most human interaction left to your staff. When we talk about that, what can be automated is more on the data side. So the human interaction is like when the technician repairing your aircon. So there's the human interaction. You cannot let the field force management tool do for you. So what can be automated? For example, data, obviously. We can use the field force management tool to generate and store data automatically in database. So the admin don't have to type in all the data manually anymore. So I will explain this further about what other data are being generated and stored in the later slide. So let's move to the next point, which is management visibility is enhanced. So this allows all the important stakeholders are well informed and the management visibility is enhanced. So I will also explain further in the later slide. So the staff that work on the field are intended to make their and your work more streamlined, transparent, and easy to track. As I said just now, staff just now have to report their work process via phone call and message all the time. So this requires a lot of work. With digitalized field force management, all of this can be automated. So let's start with the first point again, which is generate and store data automatically in database. So when we talk about generate and keep a record, for example, transaction data, we don't have to do it manually. For example, the payment amount, sales receipt, what are the items in the receipt. So all of this data can be automated when we have field force management tools. So second, task information. It included task status, location, requested by, submitted on, and the notes. So as I said just now, when the customer requests for service, he needs to give a phone call to the admin to request that his aircon is having problem. So and then the admin have to record down by himself manually. Maybe he is using paperwork or maybe he is using Excel file to key in all the important data. But as I said just now, when there are a lot of requests coming in, sometimes the admin might miss out one or two tasks or key in the information wrong. So with field force management tools, we actually get the customer to self-service themselves. For example, they can submit the data by using mobile application. They just need to snap the picture, capture the photo on the aircon, and then key in all the information data and submit the report to the system so that the phone call is not required anymore. You can actually submit the result through the mobile application directly. So this is when we talk about task information. It can generate and keep a record automatically in the database. The admin don't have to do that manually anymore. Other than that, the customer also can provide their feedback to the company directly via mobile application. While all the feedback is being generated and stored in the database. For example, we have the web car. So go when we reach a location or destination, we can give the rating to the services. Other than that, we can also provide the feedback notes, comprehensive, and most or a survey. We can also fill out a survey if you want to. Depends on the nature of your business. You can conduct a survey to your customer when you provide a service to them to see their feedback. So this is how is the data that can be stored in the database. So the second point is management visibility is enhanced. So important stakeholders are well informed and management visibility is enhanced. So let's start with the first point, what is well informed. So as I said just now, we need to have a lot of phone call or messaging whenever there's a request coming in from the customer, or the admin needs to assign the task for the technician. This involves a lot of manual work and it's very time consuming. While we're having these management tools, we can replace the phone call with notification. For example, we generate notification automatically when there is a task requested by the customer. So the admin has received the request through the notification. And then we can also generate notification when the task is being assigned for the staff or the technician. So when the admin assign the task for the technician, there's no phone call needed. A notification pop it. There's new quest or new task coming in for you. Then you already know you don't have to have a phone call. Third, you can also generate notification for customer when tasks are completed. For example, when the DPKL, right? Sometimes they fix the traffic light on the route if the traffic light is malfunctioning. So how the customer need to follow up with the notification? They are not going to be on the road every time, right? Because traffic light is a public properties. So it's really hard to see when you are at your own house. You don't know whether the problem is being fixed or not. So we can actually generate notification when for the customer when the tasks are completed. So yeah. Other than that, the task status can be reviewed, which is belong to the task visibility. For example, pending, processing, completed. So when the customer submit the report, he can see the task status before the admin has received it. It will be pending. After the admin, he assign the task for his staff, then it will be processing. After the technician, he complete the task, then he will update the task status to completed. So the customer, which is the important stakeholder, he don't have to communicate with the admin all the time. He just need to open the tools and application to see whether the task is being completed. You need to not to there's no need a lot of phone call just to check the task status. So the task visibility is more transparent. Other than that, you can also check which staff is responsible for that specific task. So let's enter the third point, which is staff status. So just now we talk about transparent and easy to track. For example, location. Customer can check the distance of staff to them. So you can see how far the staff is coming to you. So it's more visible. It will also save time for the admin to trace their staff. For example, the admin don't have to call the staff all the time about where are you? What are you working on? So it will be more transparent and easy to track. Other than that, the staff also can update their own status, for example, on duty or taking a break and heading to destination. The admin can trace the staff status. Also, you don't need to phone call all the time. So when we talk about the location, so the admin can track where the staff is and assign the suitable task for them. Or when you talk about suitable tasks, right, it's like we have two staff, like staff A, staff B. So we also have a new task that has a closer location to the staff A. So obviously, we're going to assign the task for the staff A because he's nearer to the task. So it's important for us to have a staff location. So it's easier for us to track and assign tasks for them. So enable digitalized field force management for your company. It's like a field force management tool is a godsend to companies. So why don't we enable it right now? So why should business leverage on digitalized field force management? The first thing I want to point out is workflow standardization and simplification. So let's start with standardization. If our field force management tools is not digitalized, maybe different admin has their different way to do things. For example, this admin like to use the phone call to trace staff data, but another admin like to use WhatsApp to message their staff. So there's different standardization. So if we have a digitalized field force management tools, we can actually standardize all the things. Other than that, when we talk about simplification, right now a few clicks can complete the workflow. No phone call, no WhatsApp messages, just use the tools to update. Second, we can also monitoring and analytics. The admin can trace the task status and the process. So also for the customer, the task visibility is enhanced. You can trace the task status all the time now. Third, improve quality of communication. So the admin and technician are not always working under the same location. The admin need to work on the office and the technician, mostly they work outside to provide service to their customer. So it would be good if they are working under a same platform. Make sure there is no conflict when it comes to assign tasks. So there's no, like maybe the technician A thinks the task A is handled by him, but is actually handled by technician B. So it will be more transparent and also improve the quality of communication. So the fourth point is semi-autopilot. So when we have the management tools, it has a lot of automation. So it's more time saving and it can almost run on its own. Other than that, we can also reduce the cost of paperwork and manual work because we no longer to require high amount of phone call anymore. We can also skip the admin record the data manually by himself anymore. Other than that, we can also reduce human error. So as I said just now, when there's a lot of requests coming in from the customer, if all the task information need to key in by the admin, it might occur error because there's too many requests. So maybe there will be something he going to miss out or key in the data that's wrong. So why we need to change the field force management into digitalized field force management? One of the reasons is the business of the world is entering the new normal. Because in terms of this, the business needs to adapt to the new way of doing business due to the pandemic. So the business has to learn how to survive and change their way of doing business. After we change our way of doing business, we will determine whether we can sustain it or not. So if we sustain it, maybe we can succeed from this new normal. But what is new normal? So new normal is about shifting from the old to the new normal. So the first shift for this new normal that I want to talk about is from local to global. So when we digitalize the field force management tools, obviously we are going to compete with more competitor. So when your business starts going online and digitalize, you need to stand out from them. So you need a powerful management tools to manage all the things. So the second shift that I want to talk about is man to machine. As I showed just now, there's a lot of manual work being skipped. All of this work can be automated. So the requirement of man workers will be getting lesser because some of the works can be replaced by the machine. For example, the field force management can save a lot of work from human. So I think this is the second shift. The shift number 3 is the limited hours to 24/7. Obviously, not all the field service is working 24 hours. No staff is going to come to your house, repair your aircon at midnight. But with field force management tools, you can still let your customer do the arrangement, scheduling, or booking after the working hour. For example, they want to book a time for aircon service tomorrow afternoon. But you see, it is already late night and the working hours are over. But with field force management tools, you can still make the booking. So this will be the shift number 3. You can still do things after working hour, even in midnight. So it's time to talk about the third key takeaways, how field service can help your company. Yeah, field force CIM. The first thing is the real-time GPS, as we mentioned just now. The customer can provide a correct address for the system to capture. And then the technician just need to use the GPS and locate the destination. Then he can navigate to the destination. So the customer can also check how close the worker is based on the current location. So the second point is the portability. So when the technician he complete a task, he can upload and update the task instantly after completing it. So he don't have to call his admin anymore about the job is already done. So he can use a application and update it instantly. Other than that, the workers are able to receive the task information everywhere. So whenever a task is coming in for him, the new assigned task is being assigned to the technician. So the technician able to receive it everywhere, even though he is not in the office. Third, we can also use the mobile phone to issue the receipt to the customer email. So it saves a lot of physical work. We issue the receipt in the digitalized way. So we can also understand our business better. For example, we can collect the feedback from them and understand them better. So we are using the smart device to record all the data. So instead of writing it with pens, so the customer are more willing to provide their feedback because it's more digitalized and more convenient. The next is the data processing will be more accurate because there's add in a lot of automation, so we get rid of the paperwork and or key in the data manually. So we can also increase the efficiency. So we can simplify the workflow, like a few click already complete the workflow, so the worker can focus on their work better. Other than that, we can also schedule and plan better for each worker. Third, we can analyze the weaknesses and enhance the process. So that's all for the introduction of digitalized field force management. Right now, I will hand it over to the MC of today, Tasha. He will hand you over to the second presenter of today, Mr. Tay. He will go through the demo with you by using our technology and platform. Thank you.
Thank you for the sharing, Danny. I hope you have enjoyed and learned from the first presenter as much as I do. We will now continue with the second presenter of today's webinar. To share with us on the second presenter, let's put our hands together to welcome the one and always ready Mr. T. Over to you, T.
Thank you, Tasha, and thank you, Danny, for his sharing on digitalizing your field force management. So, as stated by Danny in earlier sharing, if you dream of beginning your own experience in starting your own field force management system, we at GhostMap will help you make it a reality. It can range from telecom to utility to healthcare and other related field service that you commonly see people working on site, like from the vehicle maintenance at the side of the road or fixing the pothole on the road itself. So even insurance, door-to-door selling or road provider are part of it. So with the versatility of the platform itself, you will be able to begin your very own field force platform, as you do not need to worry about having any coding knowledge or you research the hosting costs for that particular platform. So we as a platform provider will provide the software solution to help to get you up and running your own very own field force management platform. So now I'm just gonna log in here. So we have other, as you can see, we have other CRM module that can assist on the platform itself as well. But today we're going to demo the field force. So these are some of the template we prepare in advance so that we can demo you how it works. So let me click on the field force management. So assuming this your own portal, me as a consumer, know that you have this portal, so I can visit it and get to know more about what services you provided and so on based on the detail provided here. So in case I want to subscribe to a service, so I click on this services. So here, as you can see, as mentioned earlier, it can range from not just telco service or software solution. It also can range from public services, roof service, nanny service, or any services that your organization provides. So you can list down here so people can go through the list and try to find any relevant services they need. So for in this case, I'm going to create the air conditioner services. So here, people can start browsing on the description itself to see what are the list of services that this air conditioner service provide, so that they can go through and see if it fits what they need, like maybe repair, maintenance, and modification of the air conditioner system in case they wish to improve their air service. So yeah. So once it show what they need, they can just buy now. So they can add to the cart. So once check everything is okay, then you can just check out. So here, now they just need to provide their personal contact detail, everything, so that the technician know where to find them. So or contact them in case they want to get more about their detail on what kind of repair needed or what kind of installation. So once confirming all the detail is okay, and then you can choose the payment method. So here, place the order. So assuming I already done the payment, so now it should straight lead me to the appointment page where myself I had to confirm all the detail is correct already as I input earlier. So now once everything is correct, now they choose the suitable time so that the organization can send over their technician or service staff to provide the service. So let's say I choose 12 o'clock, they come over to install the air conditioners, and now I create the appointment. So awesome. So now here, there's a notice that inform me that they already have technician be assigned to my appointment, the earlier assigned appointment. So these are the technician name and contact, so I can note down just in case by 12. If it's still not available, maybe I can call and ask where is he, or if there's any additional requirement, I can also contact him and tell him that might include maintenance as well or other repair. So okay, as I want to show you, in case the scenario where I have the second job, so I will book another services. So the general stat is the same. So let's say I have another repair at 6 later. So see. Okay. So once the appointment, everything has been booked, so now we can move on to the back-end administrator. So here is the back-end administrator. So after a consumer or customer has booked the appointment, so now me as the back-end administrator, now I will show you how it's like. So me as the administrator, I log into a portal to see the available job that was happened this morning. So you can see now here. So me, I noticed that currently there's a CC service someone already booking. So it's 12 o'clock and that's 6 p.m. So I can check the detail to check whether what it is about. So I'm asking for the air condition service and the customer detail, where they live, the contact number, as well the technician that has been assigned. So you see the job status now is currently is not started, or there's no photo after photo because it's not started here. So now I'm gonna show you on the technician side. So now that the administrator know it now, so I'm gonna show the technician side. So so I'm gonna share my phone screen right now. So the Fuse Force Management app. So I received notification that notify me there's already some appointment that has been assigned under me. So you notice now there's two appointment that earlier I booked, which is the 12 o'clock and the 6 p.m. one. So click into one of them. So now allow it to access the device location so that I can choose the, okay, as you see, now the detail of the customer as well what time it is. So let's say 12 o'clock. So now I can begin my journey because it might take me 30 minutes or 1 hour. So gonna show you, since currently this is a part of the demo purpose, so we're gonna show you the simulation, because since I demoing, I am able to move from my spot, so I have created a simulation. What happens if I start moving? Because the app is it will track the journey that I begin. So now if I started, so you notice that on the Google Map now I am moving. So as for the backend administrator, at the same time, they also can see me. I also started moving. So both the server are synchronized each other. So here I show side by side the screen. You notice the between the app and the backend administrator, they can monitor their technician now is on the way ready. So at least the backend administrator now know that they truly begin their job already. So they also can click on it to see who's the one that is on his way. So you can make sure it's correct. So assuming I'm the technician, now I already arrived on the spot already. So as the simulator show. So now for the app, I can start my job because I already reached my place already. So I just click on the start job now. So since I already reached there, the get direction is not needed, so I can just click that. So now I already notify the administrator or the server that I already started my job already. So now I can click that. So when I go back to the server here, if I since here not started, right, when I click refresh, see. So now the sentence is already started already. Okay, so let's go back to the app. Okay. So since I already started my journey earlier, so now I can check in because I already reached the area that has been assigned to begin my task. So I can check in. So now I also notify the administrator that I already checked in on the spot. So now I can begin my job as a technician. So now I'm on the scene. Right now I monitor the damage that the area where I need to install the aircon, or maybe the damage that happened that I need to repair it. So now here you notice that I can take photo or video just in case as a evidence the extent of the damage of the AC, so that in case you already done your job and then you already fix it, but after a few days you started complaining that, oh, it seems like it's not working anymore. When you come back and you notice the damage far more extent than compared to the last time. So at least you have something to show and evidence, or otherwise this also as a learning case. So you snap photos so that your organization get to know what's the problem, so that they can study about it using the photo that you snap. So let me just snap the photo. So okay. So in case you can snap more than one, so it does just limited to one photo, but in this case I snap a video now. So right. So it's limited to 30 seconds, as you can see the video recording, so that the server doesn't take too long to upload video clip that are more than like 1 minute, 2 minutes, because you only want to make it quick. So you can set multiple video in upload instead. And also I would like to mention that earlier when I checked in, like unless our app also comes with the geofencing feature, where in case I did not arrive the approximate area, right, as I shown earlier, assuming this is because it's a simulator, I will notice that he's not at that location, so I cannot check in, or I cannot even started the job because I haven't arrived at that location. So you prevented the technician from doing any further action unless they already arrive on the spot. So okay, once I confirm all the photo, whatever media is already there already, so now I can click finish. Start my work. So after I done my job and everything, now I can click on the finish job. So once I done all the completed the maintenance, the installation, the services, click on finish jobs, and now the notification. There's a notice show me that I did completed the air condition service at the following location. And now I click OK. So now you notice this is a QR code. So I can so instead of the physical phone that usually you keep it in your bag and then handing out to your customer to gather the feedback, so all those hassle is not needed anymore. As you know that sometimes you have to prepare the pen, so you don't have the pen or the pen run out of ink, so it's very hazardous. So with internet technology these days, you make it a digital form. So you just let your customer, most likely they have mobile devices these days, even the cheap one that comes with camera. They just need to scan this QR code, and then it will lead them to a web browser. They don't have to install any app. It just lead them to a browser with the font in place. They can start giving their feedback regarding the services. It's very satisfied or not satisfied on, they can give their feedback on what can be improved, so that your organization can look into it, and then maybe consider giving training to the new technicians so that they have better knowledge in providing a more satisfied services. So assuming one of us already scanned the QR code, so let's just click. Okay, so here you notice that it's an after repair video, so that you start taking evidence of the repair that you have done, so that they won't able to complain or give false statement that the repair has not been done. So I can snap a picture here to show the repair that is done, or I can also take a video of it. Okay. So as usual, 30 seconds, so that the server can quick upload this the video. So once I confirm everything is okay, so now I check out. Done. Okay, awesome. Now I already checked out on the spot, so that means I already done everything. So now, once I done everything, so I can move on to my second job. As you can see, it's at 6 o'clock. So since it's still quite far away, so I don't have to start now. Maybe around 5 o'clock, then I can start my journey. At the same time, in case I have a problem tomorrow also, the system will confirm if you really want to begin, because sometimes we have some rescheduling. The customer call that maybe tomorrow is not free, and then they want to reschedule it. So that will be also part of the feature also. So now let's head back to the administrator. So earlier I here it's just stated started, right? So now I quit. Okay, so you can see the starter timer, the check-in, finish, and what time. So the organization can start reviewing the performance level of the technician, how fast he arrived on the spot. Maybe you can, if you notice that it maybe take like more than an hour, they start questioning why it takes so long. Maybe because of traffic jam and so. And then why the repair takes so long? Maybe because lack of equipment on some of the statement given by the customer are insufficient, that the repair might be beyond what they mentioned. And then here you see the before photo as well the after photo repair. So here they can start reviewing it as part of the evidence as well. Okay. And then here's the feedback. So as you see, since no one scanned the QR code and no feedback is given, so there's no feedback was shown here. So here, as you can see, now everything is captured, and then your organization can start reviewing it, and then keep it as a side record, so that keep track how many tasks that has been done and how many repairs that is given by this technician. So everything captured and ready. So this is how powerful our field force management platform. So at the same time, I also want to show you another SOC, which is the real-time tracking stuff. So what this show is the available start. Let's assume global, you are international company, you have a lot of stuff that you want to track globally. So as part of demo, here you notice here there's three already. So that means there's three stuff currently active on the job in Malaysia. So I click on it. You notice it's a 3 point right now. So I click one of them. So the primary services. So currently there's a active staff is on the job now for the primary services. You also can check. So yeah, you can see you can do a real-time live tracking on all the technicians that are currently active globally. So it's not just limited to Malaysia. You also can track along the road also, if in case they have available start right now. So from one administrator, he can monitor all the activity that occur within the state, and then provide support as needed. Okay. So yeah. So now it's currently ready to work with all the available CRM module as well as other services. Oh, also I like to show you. So let's say once I check out, right, automatically an invoice will be generated, and then it will be emailed to my email. As you can see, the amount that I have paid, reference. So I don't have to manually issue the invoice or statement, so everything has been recorded at the back end, and everything has been automatically generated. So I don't have to worry that I missed out, or I forgot to give the receipt to this person, or some of the maybe the physical paper also might get lost along the way. So in case the customer wanted to ask for backup copies, so the administrator can just go to the back end and grab the copy of the invoice and then pass it to him. So, and then at the same time, you don't have to do manual calculation. The back end can manually do all the calculation using the online technology. So it's very easy. Everything is integrated, and it makes the administrator job a lot easier. Having even don't need to go and manually call the technician one by one as they track their activity right now if they already heading to the location, and they don't have to like financially record all their costs within a physical book. So everything is at the back end, everything is integrated. Okay, so this is how powerful our field force management platform, and it's ready to roll with all the available CRM module as shown earlier, those 8 modules along the e-marketplace. If there are additional required also, like the payment gateway or the delivery services, like we collaborate with Mr. Speedy, we collaborated with Skynet. So in case there are some services that need to deliver, also or you also have service that you like to integrate it, we are quite flexible in integrating these services into our current platform. So that you don't have to just limited to our service. If in case you have yours, then we also can help to do so as well. So the whole end-to-end ecosystem are available for you. Now you just need to figure out what sort of field service that you wish to start with, maybe for telecom, as I mentioned earlier, or Danny mentioned, or to utility, to loan, or for door-to-door selling. So you can check they sell from door to door. And then so now you just have to know what specialty that just like I mentioned earlier, shared earlier. So efficiency and the productivity are probably the biggest enabler of field service success, but they aren't the end result. More than two-thirds of the field service, as research show that executive mentioned, that customer satisfaction is their number one goal. That shouldn't be a surprise, since the whole point of showing up on time, working efficiently, having the right tool, example, the practice of field force automation, is to serve the maximum number of customers in a way that to improve their loyalty to your company. So that concludes my live demo on the digitalize your field force management. So our platform now is ready for any businesses or entrepreneur that want to start digitalize or want to start their journey into their field force. We are ready to be your partner. So as for the cost, it depends on how you wish to run it. So we are quite flexible and happy to partner with you. So you can just leave your contact here through the link that the NC will share shortly within the chat, so that we can arrange the discovery call with you based on the appointed date. So now I will hand over to the NC. Thank you for listening and hope you enjoy. Thank you.
Thanks for the sharing, Mr. T. Before we proceed with the Q&A section, I would like to remind again for those who still not joined our GBN WhatsApp group yet, kindly join us using the QR code that we have provided in our slide. And yeah, and like for now, we will just proceed for the Q&A section. If audience, you have any question, you can right away drop your question to our chat box, or you can even unmute yourself. If you have a question, you can ask us directly. So we'll give you a few more minutes for this Q&A section. Questions, you can ask us, or you can even post your question in our GBN WhatsApp group. You can join us and you can right away drop your questions over there and we will get back to you. So, well, there is no questions for now. I really hope that today you have also known boost sales and productivity with the field force management. Uh, Thanks again for joining us this morning. We hope you have enjoyed our webinar as much as we have enjoyed hosting this for you. So before we add up the session, for those who still not join our GBN WhatsApp group, the QR code is already there. You can just scan and you can just join in our WhatsApp group. So we will post all our recording, all our presentation material in our GBN group once we are done with this section. So with that, we will close this webinar session for now. We do have another webinar at 3 o'clock today. And for those who still not joining us, we will share to you the link. You can right away register and you can share, you can join on our 3 p.m. section. So remember, when the goings get tough, the tough gets going, and in every crisis lies great opportunity. We look forward to seeing you again in our next webinar. Keep the spirit up, stay safe, keep well, and we will see you again later at 3 p.m. Thank you.